Well, hello and good morning. This is future Tiffany here, and I just wanted to introduce this week's video because this is what we've been up to while we've been in New Hampshire. Good morning. I believe it is day 17 of our trip. Yesterday we arrived back at the camp and James and I are going to spend a few days here to ourselves. We have a few ideas of what we want to do while we're here at the camp. There are fun things to do in the area, but today the plan is to just go on a walk around the lake. Okay, so we walked over to this other part of the lake that you can't get to if you're in the water unless you take a canoe or a kayak or something under a wooden bridge. And there is this fascinating little tiny island in the corner, and there's a cabin on it. And I don't know if you can see from my zoom because it's not great, but it's in the corner there and there's no road that goes up to it. So somebody would have had to transport their stuff by boat to build that cabin and put stuff in it. And we went and visited it yesterday. We rode around it in a rowboat, and it's just fascinating and kind of creepy because no one's ever there when we visit, but it doesn't look like it's in total disarray. So obviously people come out and visit it occasionally, but it's just fascinating to us. This tiny little island with a cabin on it in this random little lake in New Hampshire. So when we want to get across to the other side of the water, we usually take a canoe or a boat through here under this bridge and then out the other side down there. And I think we do this every time we visit, but yesterday for the first time the water was, I think, higher than it's ever been before, maybe because they've been getting a lot of rain this year, but it was definitely a challenge. So you kind of have to like get under the bridge, you have to duck, and you kind of have to like pull yourself through to the other side, and it can be easy to bump your head on something. And yesterday, unfortunately, both of us bumped our heads on the bridge, but that's all right. We had a good time. So we just randomly found a trailhead on the other side of the lake, so we're gonna go do it. It's a short one. Why not? We're already walking around. We feel good. Here we go. So we made it out the other side, and now we are close to Harrisville, which is perfect because we wanted to go to the general store, maybe get a snack. So this has been a nice little unexpected walk, and now we get to see more of Harrisville. It's just the cutest. So I haven't gotten around to talking about it yet, but I've been wanting to tell the story. The kind of legend of how the camp came to be is apparently there was a railroad that used to be in this area, and apparently a railroad worker, every time they'd come by this area or the stop, he would throw down some wood from the train, and then eventually he had enough wood to build a cabin off of this road. So then eventually the cabin was built, and then down the line, James's great aunt bought the cabin. So that's how it came to be in James's family, and that's the story. So this section right here, between these three buoys, there's a red one right here, and then there's two black ones further down in kind of this triangular shape. There are some rocks that usually go all the way up to the surface, and so they have the buoys here so that the boats don't crash into them. But normally, when the tide or the water level isn't so high, you can stand on one of the rocks that's kind of in the middle, and James's cousins coined it the Jesus rock So each year, each time we came here, we would stand on the rock and get a picture because it makes for pretty cool pictures. But the last 2 times we've been here, the water level has been too high to get it. So it's possible that we may have found it right here. I don't know if you can see it on camera. That might be it. Hi, Jesus Rock. James got it. He's holding the rock and it's keeping us in place right now. This is the best we're gonna do. You can't really see it, but there it is. Mission accomplished. We found Jesus Rock. Woohoo! We're not gonna stand on it though because it's too hard to get to this year. So we are in downtown Keene, New Hampshire, and this is apparently where they filmed a scene in Jumanji. Here we are, Whale Rock. Good morning. I believe it's day 19 of our trip. It is our last day at the camp and we're sad to go, but we've had a wonderful time here. And today the plan is to hike Pack Monadnock, which is close by. So after we're done with that, we are going to come back and pack up our stuff. And tomorrow the plan is to head to New York City. Keep accidentally going off the path and then having to backtrack and find the yellow triangles again. We're not very good at this. These stairs look like something that'd be in Lord of the Rings. Oh my god. we're shocked by how quiet it is. It just seems like nobody's around. Nobody came after us to pass us. Only one person we saw towards the beginning that was in front of us. We're near the top, but yeah, nobody's here. What a shame, it's so beautiful. We just saw a couple walk by with a cute cat draped across one of their shoulders. That is an idyllic life right there, hiking in New Hampshire with a cat on your shoulders. It's a good life. And we made it to the top of Packmanadnock. General store is so cute too. I love it. I do a pretty bad job of showing what I am purchasing and eating from these places, but the sandwiches and the sweet milk they have from the Dublin General Store are just so good. I'm not even supposed to have gluten and dairy, but you know what? What the hey? So I wasn't planning on vlogging anything else today, but just as we were about to get in the water to take one last quick dip here at the camp before we say goodbye, head off to James's Uncle Paul and Chrissy's to stay with them for the night before we head to New York, we saw a real life snake in the water going under the dock and passing by, strolling right underneath and then heading that way, hugging the shoreline here. Constantly joked about when you're in the water and you're going somewhere and sometimes there's branches that are sticking up and the water kind of goes around it and it makes the branch look like a snake head, and it looks like it's like a cobra or something that's like about to charge you, like a charging snake in the water. But this time we saw a real snake, and its head was out of the water, but it was just poking out and its body was, you know, kind of like a sidewinder going through the water. I thought he was just joking because that's the kind of thing he would joke about. And then after all that, we still got in the water, which my mom would find to be absolutely mortifying, and I was a baby and it took me a couple minutes to get in, but we were like, we think the coast is clear. We're trying to splash around and make sure that no other snakes would come by or that there wasn't a family like following it. I can't believe I got in the water, but anyways, didn't get it on camera because my phone was up here. But that is a first for us. I don't know how likely anyone else will ever be of seeing a snake here at camp. We survived. That's gonna do it for this week's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you'll be back next week because we will be venturing to New York City and making our way back home. Have a good week and see you then.